Yo, this is Shaggy and you're watching Shift Up. Yeah, let them know. It's the love.
Early morning low, she get it good from she rise. But put it on so good and make sure she call she ties.
So when you look at Bounty Killer, Vibes Cartel, Sean Paul, Shaggy, Beanie Man, we're masters of our crafts. There's no new guy that's going to do what we do exactly the same way we do it and be better than us. I'm sorry, because music has to evolve. And so if you're not empowering these younger artists to evolve into something great, then what's the sense? Of course, a lot of the older artists got mad with me. I was like, yo, bro, I had people cussing me out that, some of them were people that I never met. And some of them were people I worked with really well that could just pick up the phone and just have a conversation. But
so today we're talking to a Grammy-winning, diamond-selling dancehall reggae artist and pioneer who has sold over 40 million albums worldwide. Big numbers. He's giving us mega hits like Oh Carolina, It Wasn't Me, Mr. Bombastic, Banana, and the list goes on. He has 4 #1 UK singles, 8 singles on the Billboard Hot 100, and 7 albums on the Billboard Top 200, including 4 in the Top 40. Whether as an artist, writer, or producer, he has collaborated with legends and heavyweights like Barrington Levy, Maxi Priest, Sting, Cardi B, Janet Jackson, Shaka Khan, and the list goes on. And on June 29th, he's going to be here in Toronto performing at Sobeys Stadium. We're talking to the legend, the pioneer, the hitmaker, Shaggy.
Give thanks. Canada is always the home away from home,
We're going to get to some of the new stuff. But I want to talk about, I saw a YouTube video that had me inspired a little bit about what your kind of like your come up. It was talking about the song, It Wasn't Me. And, I was remembering that video and this, I was going through some stats. I think It Wasn't Me now has like 1 billion streams on Spotify. But there was a time when they didn't necessarily believe in that song. Like I was kind of, I was watching a video how it was a radio station in Hawaii that really supported the song and broke the track. And now we're at 1 billion streams on that song that people didn't necessarily believe in. At the time, did you know, like when you made it, were you like, did you know you were sitting on something?
First of all, let's give it its flowers. It's 1 billion streams after its prime.
That's true.
Think about that. Think about most songs now that you're seeing that are going 1 billion streams, like the Doja Cat or, any of these artists that are going with their big records. It's within the prime of the record. Did I know it was something? I was sitting on something that big? No one could predict that, but you do know that you are on something special. Because, and it's always as an artist, you find something special and it's trying to convince other people or the powers that be that it is special. And that is the big, I love where artists are today, where they're in charge of their own, really kind of their own destiny and really calling the shots on their art form, because I remember even with Bombastic, when I was doing Bombastic, because Caroline was such a success, they wanted me to do another Oh Caroline style, because at that time there was a couple of songs that were spin-offs of the Oh Caroline beat, like Boom Shakalak with Apache Indian, that really sampled part of Oh Carolina. And you had Twist and Shout and Tease Me, all of those were on that type of feel. And I had refused to do that over again. And so even on the Bombastic album, you'll find a song called Jenny. She's blowing my mind. And if you just listen to that, it's literally like Oh Caroline, because I'm talking in the song that we call it Ho Carolina, because it's been in my sense of how I'm saying it's poured out, because everybody did it. But then I turned in a song called Mr. Bombastic, and everybody looked at me and asked, what the hell is this? Because it didn't sound like Oh Carolina. And at one point, they weren't going to put it out. If you look at the actual 12-inch itself, it's actually a B-side. And it wasn't until Ken Berry, who was the head of version at the time, came in with an opportunity that he got from Levi's. And Levi's had used that song in in their commercial. And it fit perfectly well. And he says, hey, this has to be a single because Levi's is coming out. And it actually debuted at #1 in the British chart. And that was the first time in the history of reggae or dancehall that a reggae or dancehall song actually debuted in the British chart at #1. So you never know when these things are, you know. Some people are lucky to catch one in their career, and they've caught about 4 of them. So I have to give thanks, you know.
And what made you say, as an artist, what made you say, you know, I don't want to go back to doing Old Carolina? Because a lot of people, they would just milk that sound and just kind of keep going with it. But what when you said, you know, I did that, I don't want to do that again?
In hindsight, it probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. For my pockets, you know, I should have milked it probably more. I would have probably sold way more records, and but I just wasn't inspired to do it again. You know, sometimes you have to go. A lot of people, like, I have not put a Shaggy album out in literally about 5 years. If you track everything that I've done, I just did something with Kess, with Soca, I did something with Banana, with Conqueror. I did Go Down There with me and Sean. I'm just looking for things that inspire me. They're not even part of an album or anything. They're just singles, because I'm just not, you know, I've been doing Shaggy for 30 years, you know, and I need something to inspire me to come with something. If I'm just going to do a Shaggy album, just to do a Shaggy album, and that's just doing it because, you know, it's going to stream well or whatever. And that makes it, if I cannot come with something that inspires me or move me or tap into something that is great, or that's going to really move my audience and move me. And I make music selfishly first, because I move me before I move my audience. I really don't make music for my audience. So I'm just not I just wasn't inspired. That's why I didn't feel like a people.
I was actually going to ask you, like, what the key, you know, or some of the keys to your longevity has been. Is that one of the keys there? Like you making music for yourself first and then your audience?
I don't know if it's a key, you know. I just know that's how I operate. You know, I'll do songs with like an upcoming new artist. If you look at the track record of all my songs I did, it wasn't me with an unknown artist called Rick Rock, or I did Angel with an unknown artist called Raven, or I did I Need Your Love with Muhammad and Faded to an unknown artist, or Conqueror, an unknown artist on Banana. You know what I mean? Or I might go Spice, a local artist, or Kess, who's not that big of an international artist. But what I'm trying to say with those and doing it like that is that's what inspires me. That's what makes me move, you know? So in making these type of music, I don't know if it's part of the longevity, but it certainly doesn't get me bored. Because in my eyes, you won't be bored of me before I'm bored of me.
So let's talk about some of these, you know, the collaborations we mentioned in the intro. How do you choose at this point in your career? Like, how do you choose collaborators? Like, because you can collaborate with most, you know, I don't think anyone's turning down a Shaggy feature at this point.
Oh yeah,
people still do.
Yeah, people, you know, people are fickle, because if you're hot, they're not going to turn it down. But you haven't had a record on the radio for a minute, you know, they're going to be like, oh, you're the legend, right? They'll dance around it, you know. And that's been from the beginning, because you have to remember, some people were even scared because I was dancehall. You know, I'm sure remember when we did Janet Jackson, Love Me, Love Me. When we did it with Janet Jackson, if you look on YouTube, she was not in the video. We didn't even, and if you look at Love Me Love, there was a different version for like Canada and the rest of the world with a lady by the name of Samantha Cole singing the hook, because we didn't have rights to her outside of the US, and it wasn't supposed to be a single, because we were dancehall at the time, and dancehall at that time, when you check radio, it was not played on any radio. It wasn't played on any radio. It wasn't played on. So if you are a major artist of that magnitude, why would you be featuring on a song in a genre that isn't played on radio at all, or isn't on most of the platform? This, you know, iHeartRadio has probably about 200 stations. None of those stations are, you know, are reggae stations. You know, they might have a reggae hour on Sunday nights or something like that. So I cannot their point why Even somebody like a Rihanna who started with on the replay, they quickly found out that there were not a lot of outlets for it, so they totally turned her pop at that point. And then she ended up moving from on the replay, which is a dancehall type of artist, to becoming a pop artist, which was very smart. No, she's massive. She can easily come back and do a dancehall, and that would totally help the genre. So at the time, you're going to find those oppositions because people are being very smart in how they do it. I can't tell you that all the moves that I have made in dancehall and in my career have been smart moves, but they're passionate moves.
Yeah.
you know.
So how do you feel? How do you feel about where dancehall is at right now? Because I've seen recently, like you were really just advocating for embracing the new sound of dancehall and younger artists and stuff like that. Like, how do you feel? How do you feel where dancehall is right now?
I just think that everything has to evolve. All right, I can't do. Say, for instance, I'm going to say I'm going to be an artist that's going to make music like Bob Marley or Dennis Brown or Greg Isaac. Who the hell do I think I am to actually make records that is going to top what they've done? Like, these guys were masters of their craft. The only way I'm going to make my mark is to do something that is me. And we're going to have to do a hybrid of it that represents me, that is my mark. And that way I can make my mark on the game. I can't become great by copying my hero. I can be inspired by my hero, but to copy my hero, no. So when you look at Bounty Killer, Vybz Kartel, Sean Paul, Shaggy, Beenie Man, we're masters of our crafts.
Mm.
There's no new guy that's going to do what we do exactly the same way we do it and be better than us. I'm sorry. They're not going to do it to where they're like, creating these greatness. They have to find a new way. And that's great because music has to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're not empowering these younger artists to evolve into something great, then what's the sense? What do you want to do? Keep the cheat code to yourself? No. The key cheat code is to create a hybrid. Hybrid shifts culture. And the more you create a song, it's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. We're not inventing the wheel here. But what we're doing is bringing different feels to it and creating, that energy that is like, oh, wow, this is dope. And the trap sound is just a new part. When you see what TJ do, I can't do that. I can't. You know what I'm saying? That's their sound. And even if I do it, I'm sounding strange doing that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do mine. I'm going to do me. But they're going to find their way. And you can't say, okay, you're supposed to overdo it this way. No, experiment. Do as much things as possible. So what I was saying there, I wasn't saying that, dancehall, 90s dancehall is over. It's not over. You're going to have people who are going to do it and you're going to still have success about it. But if you look at the masses of the young people doing it, that's not what they're going to do. They're going to do their own thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think those younger guys are going to be the ones to really move the culture. It's not going to be me or Sean, Killer, or Beenie Man. We're a great foundation to stand on. But those guys are the guys that's going to take it to the next level. You know what I mean? And which is all I said. And, of course, a lot of the old artists got mad with me. I was like, yo, bro, I had people cussing me out that, some of them were people that I never met. And some of them are people I work with really well that could just pick up the phone and just have a conversation. But that's social media today, and that's the internet. That's all people are. So.
Mm-hmm. Before we go on, I'll ask you about this competition in music because Toronto's own Drake and Kendrick just had their thing going. Reggae historically, you had competition with sound clashes and DJs. You think competition is good for the culture, whether it's hip hop, reggae? You think competition is good for the culture?
Well, let's take it back to the core. It all starts from dancehall, right? Battling started from sound system. know what I'm saying? Just like Kool Herc took the culture sound system to the Bronx and how we got hip hop today. So it all starts from Jamaica, you know? Do I think it's good for the culture? It certainly brings a certain level of excitement. I remember when Jada and Stefan was going at it, I was glued to the internet, you know, just trying to hear who's doing what. And as you can see, it has done very well for Jada. You know, Jada, I was really surprised at all the people who were tuning in because it was making its way on like mainstream blocks, you know, hip hop blocks and stuff like that had it. I was like, whoa, okay, it's not just local pigwad, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, so I kind of like that. So it can be, as long as it doesn't get violent. And I do think I would not go into a clash with anyone at this point. And I'm agreeing with Sean Paul. No, I didn't at first, but I am. In the sense that I think there is a level of below the belt that I can't embrace. Like if I'm clashing with somebody, there's a certain level I'm not going to go. I think these guys in this generation just goes below the belt and don't care. Like a lot of, even with the Drake and the Kendrick shit, it's a lot of below the belt comments that were made, man. I didn't enjoy that. I think, you know, when you start talking about people's families and their moms and their kids and stuff, I'm not into that. You know, back in the days when I know people they battle the artist for what the artist has done and the artist's art and music, you know, and all that shit. You know, you might call them on and say, I'm on this or I'm on that, but it's based on the person. It's not based on the person's family and the person's kid. And I didn't like that.
So has anyone over the years tried to you know, take some subliminal jabs at Shaggy before, like, you know, in the, you know?
They do it all the time.
Oh yeah?
They do it all the time. I just don't answer them. Like if you do it and I'm going to look at your post and see there's only 40 people, why am I answering?
Yeah.
Like really, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm reading, you know, I'll actually murder you by not saying anything. It gets attraction, you know what I mean? It gets so attractive.
That's true. So last but not least, you know, for those who've never seen you perform live, you know, what can people expect? Like when Shaggy hits the stage, what can people expect?
I think one of the biggest thing that people take away from a concert, people who are not Shaggy fans, they walk away with like, oh, damn, I forgot about this song. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh shit, I forgot. You know what I mean? Because they start hearing these songs. They'll know there wasn't me and the Angels and Mr. Bombastic, and, you know, but they'll start hearing That Girl. Like, oh shit. You know what I mean? You're big up, like, you know what I mean? They'll hear songs that they forgot about. They forgot that, you know, it's 3 decades. Mm-hmm. And I've had hits in all 3 decades, you know? So, I think that's what will hit him by the time you sit there for, you know, a 90-minute concert and you're knocking these tunes. They're like, oh my, that in the summertime, this was my jam. You know what I mean? I think that is what get him. And we're very energetic. It's a full band, you know, and we're big on crowd participation and getting them involved. If anybody saw me when I was out there with me and TLC, where we were at the Budweiser Arena, you know, we sold that out and that was fantastic. And we're just kind of looking forward to this one. You know, it's really, really great. I hear this is a new arena also. It's like a new venue or something like that, I think. So
it's a new. I thought they haven't used it for concerts before, so it's going to be cool to see how they've you know, redid it and stuff. Do you have any you know, great Toronto memories? Like any particular Toronto memories that stand out to you, like from over the years?
Lots, man. I used to do promo up and down in Toronto back in the day with like Cardinal Official and a lot of these guys back when Snow was out there. It's like, you know, you're talking like 1993. A lot of heavy Caribbean people, a lot of Indians, a lot of Arabs. Like it's just very culturally diverse, and the food I think is one of the best places for food. I would say Canada and Mexico is the two best places I've ever been for like food and
Okay.
restaurant.
Okay. Definitely.
Italy, I put a class by itself because it's not diverse food. It's Italian food. And in Mexico, like Mexico City and Toronto, you get very diversified cultural types of food in restaurants. I love that.
Awesome. We're definitely, looking forward to the show. Thank you so much for your time. Once again, this is the legend, the pioneer, still making hits, still making big tunes. And thank you so much for your time. And we'll see you when you come to Toronto.
All right, man. Give thanks here. Respect.